Okay. So my video is fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's start.
Hi,
everybody. Okay, do we start?
Yes, we are live right now.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. We are here to present 2019 IEEE Turkey Science Awards. I'm Fatih Uğurdağ, Chair of IEEE Turkey Section. I'm a Professor of Electrical and Electronics Engineering at Özyeğin University in Istanbul. IEEE Turkey will be presenting today 9 awards to 9 very valuable awardees. IEEE Turkey has, to be exact, 1,721 IEEE members in its 16 chapters and affinity groups, while IEEE has almost 365,000 members worldwide. We announced the winners in February. Normally, we were going to do the ceremony face-to-face in April. Due to the pandemic, we kept postponing it, and at this point, we had no choice, but we had to do it online. Today, we also have 2 very esteemed guest speakers from IEEE Global, Kathy Land, Susan Kathy Land, and Karen Panetta. Karen is not with us at the moment, but we're hoping that she will join shortly.
I'm here.
Kathy, oh, you are there?
I'm
okay,
here.
Welcome, Karen. And hang on. Just a brief moment. So I'm not sharing my screen. Am I sharing my screen? No. Karen, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for being with us, spending
you.
time on such an important day.
Thank you.
We
so
really
much.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Great way to wake up and celebrate. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm back to normal, back from screen sharing. So like I said, we have 2 very esteemed guest speakers today, Kathy Land and Karen Panetta. Kathy is the President-Elect of IEEE. That means she's the next IEEE President. And Karen is the Vice Chair of IEEE Awards Board, among her many other hats within IEEE. We are very honored to have them with us here today. Let me tell you about the ceremony, how it will progress. Every awardee and speaker has a host. There is an officer within IEEE Turkey. I will be inviting the host, and the host will introduce and invite our guest, awardee, or speaker. The hosts will also briefly introduce themselves and their association with IEEE. I think this will be a good opportunity for our audience to also get to know IEEE Turkey. Now I would like to hand the floor to our Awards and Recognition Committee Chair, Professor Tolga Duman, who also happens to be an IEEE Fellow. Professor Duman will tell us about the purpose, selection process, and history of IEEE Turkey Science Awards. Before Professor Duman starts speaking, I would like to thank the hosts here, all the hosts here, for all their contributions to IEEE Turkey Science Awards. I would also like to thank Dr. Çağatay Edemen, who's not here with us right now, for the plaques, award plaques. And my thanks also go to Mr. Nazım Işık, our web and social media coordinator. Last but not least, I would like to thank our former chair, Professor Murat Uysal, for creating IEEE Turkey Science Awards. So the floor is yours, Tolga Hocam.
Thank you very much, Fatih Hocam. My name is Tolga Duman. I am a faculty with Bülent University in Ankara. And prior to joining Bülent in 2012, I was at Arizona State University as a professor for a number of years. And I've been in Turkey for the last 8 years, essentially back in Turkey for the last 8 years. And I've been involved in IEEE activities in terms of editorship or reviewership or conference organizations and so on for the last 20 years or so. But in Turkey, basically, my involvement started in 2016 when Murat Uysal has contacted me with his idea, and actually the IEEE board idea, that we should create several awards to recognize the research and service and doctoral thesis and so on that's being completed in Turkey. And I was appointed by the board as the awards and recognition chair, and I've been doing this for the last few years. So we've decided in 2016 to start the awards, and we ran the first three, basically, the first one being in 2017, 2018, and now today we are going to be recognizing the awardees for 2019 edition. And we will actually run the 2020 as well, and hopefully this will be run every year. And the deadline for the award applications and nominations for the Encouragement Award and Doctoral Dissertation Award is coming up. So I'll state that again at the end of my short presentation. So let me give a little bit more information about the awards. And for this, I'm going to share my screen. And I believe it is done now. And let me do a slideshow. And hopefully it shows on your screen. So we have 4 different award categories, and all of this is for work that is done in Turkey, essentially. We have a Lifetime Achievement Award for sustained and profound research contributions in any IEEE area. And we have an Exemplary Service Award for outstanding contributions to IEEE Turkey activities. We have Research Encouragement Award for outstanding technical contributions, again, in any IEEE area, again, in Turkey, but the eligibility is within 10 years of PhD, and the applicants or nominees have to be within 10 years of their PhD. And we have Doctoral Dissertation Awards, again, completed at a university in Turkey, and eligibility is within 2 years of PhD. And you can read a little bit more about the descriptions on the IEEE website or in the announcements, so I'm not going to take much time. I'll just mention that the committees are for the Exemplary Service Award and Lifetime Achievement Award consists of the IEEE Turkey Section Board and the award coordinator, and after the first year, the previous awardees. So we do not take nominations or applications for this award. It is the board and award coordinator and the previous awardees' job, essentially, is to identify the right person for that year. And you will hear about the 2019 awardee shortly. And for the Research Encouragement Awards and Doctoral Thesis Awards, we take applications or nominations, so either one is fine. And we formed a committee, which is mostly the same people for the first 3 years, but actually there has been some changes over the years, but mostly the same. And we have a number of faculty, 13 or 14. For the first 2 years, we had 13. Last year, we had 14 from 6 or 7 universities in Turkey. And I thank all the committee members for their service over the last 3 years. And again, for the 2020 edition as well, for the upcoming one. I just want to remind you of the awardees from 2017 and 18. For the Lifetime Achievement Award, the first winner was Erdal Arıkan from Bülent University. The second winner in 2018 was Murat Tekal from Koç University. Exemplary Service Award went to the founder of IEEE Turkey Section back in early 90s or late 80s, Levent Onural from Bülent University in 2017, then Gözde Bozdağ Akar from Middle East Technical University in 2018. And Research Encouragement Awards, we had 3 winners, Ertuğrul Başar, Tolga Çukur, and Özgür Ergül in 2017, and we had 2 awardees in 2018. And by the way, you can find all this information on the IEEE Turkey website. We have listed all this information. And we identified in 2017 5 doctoral theses that were worthy of award, and the winners were Mehmet Nuri Akıncı, Kübra Kalkan, Süheyla Çetin Karayumak, Seyhan Uçar, and Kadir Üstün from 5 different universities listed here. And 2018, we had identified 6 winners and from 5 different universities: Muhammed Alser, Erhan Gündoğdu, Ercan Kalalı, Murat Kuşçu, Sina Rezai Agdam, and Faruk Ugranlı. And this actually wraps up my short presentation of the history of these awards, and I'm hoping that this is something that will continue for the coming years. And this is all I have.
Okay, thank you, Professor Tolga Duman. Now I would like to give the floor to Professor Tunçer Baykaş in order to present Cathy Land.
Thank you very much. So I would like to present you our current President-Elect and IEEE President from 2021, January 1st, Susan Cathy Land. Cathy Land was the 2018 Vice President of the IEEE activities. She served 2 additional terms in IEEE Board of Directors. And also she was the President of the IEEE Computer Society. In 2013 and 2016, Land was a member of the IEEE USA Board of Directors. That's also important for me because I'm working for the IEEE Standards Association in IEEE 802, and Land was an active member for more than 20 years and served as the Computer Society Vice President for Standards. She was the recipient of 2007 IEEE Standards Medallion. In 2008 and 2010, she was a member of the IEEE Women in Engineering Committee, and she received numerous awards, including 2011 IEEE Huntsville Sanction Outstanding Engineer of the Year Award, IEEE Computer Society Richard E. Merwin Award, and the Huntsville Association of Technical Societies 2018 Malkin Award. So, Cathy, thank you very much for joining our meeting, and welcome to IEEE Turkey Section.
Thank you. So I'm going to share my screen. And so hopefully you can see my screen. My internet connection is a satellite, so it might take a little bit. So I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. And I want to begin by thanking you for the incredible work that you've done and continue to do for IEEE. I'm honored to be able to come and speak to you as President and CEO-elect, and it is indeed a privilege. So I hope you're doing well and staying healthy during these difficult times. It's the global health crisis is a unique challenge, and I'm really glad that you were able to pivot to a virtual presentation today and have remained agile during this time. It's impacted many members of the IEEE family, and I do hope you all stay healthy. So I am proud to be included in this event tonight, and I do thank you again. And thank you again for providing me this opportunity. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I want to begin by letting you know what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk briefly about why IEEE awards are important, how the IEEE awards program pivoted during the pandemic. I learned some things recently that I thought you might want to know about, and I'll share those with you. And then this engineering and technology history wiki, and provide a quick peek into tonight's agenda. I wanted to say something about one of the awardees, and then I'll get off the stage. All right, so through its awards program, IEEE advances the interests of its members by recognizing their contributions in advancing the fields of interest to IEEE and the benefit of society. The IEEE awards program honors members and other professionals for their service to society. By this means, the image and prestige of the organization, its members, and the profession are all enhanced. Awards make people feel that their work is valued and there will be recognition for excellence. And it also shows others that IEEE is aware of outstanding accomplishments. And this is particularly important now, and it's a good way of bringing our technical communities together now more than ever. So I do commend you on hosting this event now in these challenging times and not giving up. So I wanted to, again, I want to talk to you about what I learned recently about the IEEE VIC, the awards program, and pandemic, and how things were done virtually. So in the past, we held an annual award ceremony. I don't know how many of you have been able to attend that annual event. And in the past, they broadcast pretty much in bulk over the internet. And this year, things were done quite differently. The volunteer and staff had about 2 months to do this pandemic pivot, is how I call it. And they developed an integrated campaign leveraging social media, and the showcase incorporated brand and community building elements. And they did some congratulatory messages, cross promotion with societies, some private companies, some industry organizations, and IEEE TV. And there was an extended campaign which capitalized on the IEEE brand, promoted extensive visibility and awareness. And it was a multi-pronged approach, which incorporated these, they called them branded video carousels, which meant they rotated throughout all the social media platforms, highlighting the awardees. And there were some contributed articles from the awardees, some podcasts from the awardees, but they used deliberative storytelling techniques, and they broke things apart, which was different. But this enabled audiences who cared about different pieces. Let's say if you were interested in vehicular technologies or software engineering, to see the pieces of the award program that they were interested in. And they did a targeted promotion along with complementary elements, like the booklet pieces. They broke those apart in video elements, all along different targeted pieces, right? So they would buy from, say, Twitter, who are the components that are interested in, say, software, who's the audience that's interested in software engineering, and then target the pieces of the award program toward that audience. So the campaign resulted in a greater than 65% growth of aggregated engagement, 65% growth, and an aggregated engagement rate of over 10%, which is pretty significant. So you'll see here for the first time, publications were paired directly, again, to relate to the category of award, as I mentioned earlier. And this had an amazing impact on the numbers of readers. And you can see at the bottom, you'll see that, like the Ted Hissey Award, an audience reach of over 3.3 million. The Kilby Medal, 117,000. Power Engineering, for over 40,000, and so on. So this approach, it was, I guess I'll relate it to sort of like TED Talks, where each piece of the award information was made available on multiple platforms and broken apart again. So pretty significant outreach. And again, this approach maximized the exposure and mindshare for the 2020 distinguished honorees. It highlighted their profiles, and strategically, also we paired some podcasts and contributed articles as key differentiators. There were a couple of firsts for the IEEE Awards in 2020, and we were able to land 4 high visibility top tier podcasts for distinguished honorees in varied categories. You saw some of this on the previous slide, but here on this slide, you can see like On the Dot Woman, and then this electronic design, embedded computing, but these were all first. And you can see at the bottom of the slide that the media audience reach today is almost 9 million. So this is incredible for IEEE Awards. All right, so just a few things about social media. This slide, I'm sorry, it's really tiny and somewhat hard to read, but I think it's important to show the trends on social media. So total impressions on Facebook were up over 2,000%. Total engagements were up over 1,000%, and Twitter growth trends for IEEE Awards were up over, both up over 150%, and those are pretty impressive metrics. So why do you care, right? I thought this was interesting. I thought you'd want to hear something like this rather than me come just do another talking head talk, right? Which is what sometimes presidents do. But I wanted to let you know that the staff and volunteers are making sure that this is replicatable, right? That they're working hard to ensure that you have these tools to help promote your awards programs as well. And you can see from the list of types of items that are being considered and the goals of this program. So if you're interested in this type of virtual awards media support, you can contact Leslie Russell and get some information from her. But they are working to make sure that you can have this type of information and work to receive this type of media support as well. So I thought that was just great. All right, so another thing, I'm going to shift gears and let you know a resource I recently was made aware of. You may know about this. I find out things all the time, and I figure if I don't, as long as I've been around, and if I don't know about it, then maybe other people don't know about it. So I was looking to find out, looking to find individuals or to sponsor for awards, or, and I found out that this about this engineering and technology wiki, and the ETHW, as they call it, is developed in partnership between IEEE and the other organizations you see listed on the slide. It hosts thousands of articles, firsthand account, oral histories, milestones, all kinds of stuff. And it fosters the creation of narratives that not only document the history of engineering practices, but also explains the when, how, why these technologies were developed, as you can see on from the statement on the slide. So I did some brief exploring, and this is not complete. And the point is that it's a wiki, and you guys have the latest and greatest information about your award winners, so you can update this information and make it the most current, which is what I would recommend. But I found these two previous award winners, and there's much more information out there. So there's also information on prominent Turkish engineers. So if you're, maybe interested in exploring who might be on it, if you're doing research for your awards program, you could also go out there and look. But there's also a lot of extensive information about the awards programs, medals, more than that, there's available basically on the IEEE site. So it's a very interesting site to explore, and it's supported by our IEEE history department. So just interesting. And so before I leave the stage, I couldn't step away without mentioning that I want to convey my deepest congratulations to Professor Bülent Sankur. He will be presented this evening with the Lifetime Achievement Award. And I just wanted to say what a stellar achievement. I wanted to thank him for all that he's done and for all his contributions for over his life's work. This award will be presented later, along with awards for distinguished service, recognition awards, and outstanding PhD dissertation awards. The common thread among each of these award winners that you will see tonight is a dedication to excellence, integrity, pursuit of knowledge, and the support of IEEE's core purpose, which is to foster technological innovation and excellence for the benefit of humanity. So thank you again for the privilege tonight. I wish all of the recipients my congratulations, and hope that each of you attending will be inspired by their achievements. I know I will be. The advancement of scientific and technical knowledge in the work of expanding and accelerating technology for the benefit of humanity is the greatest work and the greatest calling of our time. Stay safe and well. Thank you.
Kathy, thank you so much for your inspiring talk, and thank you for being with us today. It's an honor to have you, and we are presenting you, just one moment, share screen. We are presenting you this certificate of appreciation for being with us and giving a talk, and we'll email you a copy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So now I would like to invite Ms. Simay Akar to the floor to introduce and invite Professor Karen Panetta.
Thank you very much. So I would like to introduce Karen. So she has a lot of achievements. It's hard to summarize that. And Karen Panetta is the Dean of the Graduate Education for the School of Engineering and a Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering in Tufts University. And Karen was the 2014 IEEE USA Vice President of Communications and Public Affairs. And she is the current Editor-in-Chief of IEEE Women Engineering Magazine and an active IEEE Fellow. And she's also Chair Vice President of IEEE Awards Board, and also she has been IEEE Women in Engineering International Chair as well, and also several other roles in IEEE over the years. And Karen has a BS degree in computer engineering from Boston University and MS and PhD in electrical engineering from Northeastern University, and she was the first woman engineer granted in the Tufts University School of Engineering, and she received several awards from outstanding teaching and mentoring as well from outreach activities. In 2011, President Obama awarded her the nation's highest awards for the science, mathematics, and engineering education and mentoring. And in 2009, she was awarded a Lorne Augustine Award for communicating the wonders of engineering to the public. And Karen is also the recipient of several NASA and National Science Foundation research grants, including NSF Career Award. Karen, we welcome you for your speech. And happy birthday again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Boy, that introduction was better than my presentation. So let's see if I can do here. I'm going to share my screen with you. I think I hit share. Do I hit share? I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen yet? Let's see. Can you see that?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see my title slide. All right. Thank you so much. This is a great day. You know, I am the vice chair of the awards board, but I'm also going to be the chair next year. So I've had some really good training and I'm really excited to do that. Thank you again for recognizing that today's my birthday. I'm feeling good to start the day with you. So I want to jump right in to what's really important. It's all about you right now, but I want to talk about why awards are important, you know, and about a little bit about IEEE's awards program. So we have wonderful programs throughout IEEE. We have amazing volunteers, and awards are allowing us to give, you know, look at people and get them the recognition and tell their stories. They're making so much impact around the world. I also sit on the IEEE Special Interest Group for Humanitarian Technologies, and IEEE has come together to use this as a venue or a vehicle to take on projects around the globe. So we've jumped right into action, either via education, via coming up with new technologies, low-cost health technologies. And so we're doing all these things and we want to recognize you. We want to promote you and bring more public awareness to the IEEE brand, because our members are our brand. So you are a reflection of us. But this is my view of IEEE. It's this elephant that looks different to everybody. You know, so we all know IEEE, we might know our own section, our own societies. And I've been in IEEE long enough that I say, amazing resources, if only we could communicate them and share them. And awards happens to be one of those things. So we have on the awards board, we have the IEEE medals, we have technical field awards. These are the highest medals or highest recognitions IEEE can give. But then our geographic units, such as educational activities, they have their own awards for education, including young students and outreach for teachers. We have graduate student awards, and every society has its own awards, including, and MGA has a lot of service awards as well. And then for those of you who are familiar, our honor society, which I happen to be the president of 2019, the HKN or Eta Kappa Nu Honor Society, which I think all of you should get inducted to, also has its own awards. So, you know, you've got all these awards and we're trying to disseminate them to our membership, but people don't really know what's out there. And therefore, sometimes we don't get all the nominations we should. It's important because our awards provide us the ability not only to advance you, but to encourage and empower others to follow in your steps. And to see people like us that come from our backgrounds, that share the same experiences, that had maybe some of the same challenges. Mentors from Women Engineering, as a former Women Engineering chair, as well as the magazine editor-in-chief, I've learned along the way, mentors really are instrumental. And mentors does not mean it always has to be women. It has to be someone who just knows how to encourage and share, opportunities and connect us with resources. And resources in one of these cases today could mean here's opportunities for you to get these awards or scholarships. So storytelling, one of the things that I think Kathy mentioned was that IEEE Awards has moved to storytelling, and so has IEEE's public visibility campaigns. One of the things that's really important is we've noticed in all the award ceremonies, we're promoting technology and we're talking about the technology and how it changed humanity, but we never really talked about the people and the story of how they got there. And I think that that's really what captures audiences. So when we're promoting some technology that was developed over 25, 50 years ago to younger audiences, we want them to understand how it impacts their lives and how this person has, their pathways, their challenges, and what they experienced that you might be experiencing right now. So those are the big things about awards that, I think that encompass everybody. The only thing I wanted to mention about awards before I let you go, this is my IEEE family. The only thing I wanted to mention before I go is, as I've sat on every awards board and throughout IEEE. So, IEEE USA, MGA, EAB, all these different awards things. And it breaks my heart when I sit there and I see 2 nominations for scholarships for students for $25,000 a year. 2 nominations, that's it. I mean, that's better than hitting the lottery, right? You got a 50-50 chance. So I encourage all of you to either nominate somebody or look through the awards and see maybe what you would be eligible for. Now, it's really embarrassing to say, oh, please nominate me for this. But you might look at it and find a mentor and say, I found these awards. Do you think this is something that you'd feel comfortable helping me look at or pursue? People respond to that. One of the things I want to leave you with is when I was looking at the awards board portfolio, before I joined the board, I was looking at it and I said, there's no IEEE Medal of Honor winners. What happened here? And I'm here in Massachusetts, Boston, the hub of the technology world here in the United States. And at MIT, there was a woman professor who had been there, Mildred Dresselhaus. So I picked up the phone and I called the president of MIT's office and I said, why haven't we nominated Millie Dresselhaus for the Medal of Honor? And I found that I had a lot of courage to do this for somebody else. But if I were going to call the president of MIT for me, I don't think I could do it. But I had no problem doing it because I knew that there was somebody out there that deserved these awards. So I worked with them to facilitate getting the letters and the nominations and guiding them through the process. And I will be honest, it was like herding cats. It was not an easy task. And, but it was worth it because Millie won that award. And my joy was being able to take a picture with her and be present with her when she received that award. So, it's important that we get engaged ourselves. So I know you all know somebody that's worthy of an award or worthy or has a story to tell. And the other thing I'm going to promote is Women in Engineering Magazine. I don't know if you can see this. It's Women in Engineering Magazine. I am the editor-in-chief. I tell the stories of students, of teachers, of educators, of mentors, of anybody that has a story to tell to empower others. So if you have a story, you know somebody and all your award winners, we should be doing a story on them in this magazine. And I always like to close by saying, IEEE Women in Engineering, it's not, people always say, well, it's just for women. I say IEEE Women in Engineering is for women and anyone who knows a woman. So I'd like to thank you very much for your time today. And I want to congratulate all your awardees and thank you for your great work. And I look forward to hearing from you so that I can profile you, your recognition, get you some recognition, and also help connect you to awards when I become the awards board chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you for your talk. Thank you for letting us know about the bigger landscape of IEEE awards globally. And let me share my screen. And we're giving you this certificate of appreciation. We're going to email you a copy. Thanks again. Now I would like to invite another host, which is me. I'm inviting myself to introduce and invite Professor Bülent Sankur. Now I would like to give you his bio. One moment. Too many windows open here. So we're presenting our most prestigious award, Lifetime Achievement Award, to Professor Bülent Sankur of Boğaziçi University. And we're giving him this award due to his pioneering and groundbreaking works in the area of signal processing and related areas. Professor Sankur has been a faculty member at Boğaziçi University for the last 44 years. Last few years as an emeritus professor. Professor Sankur is a top-notch researcher and educator. He has inspired literally thousands of students throughout his career, most of whom became top-notch researchers, engineers, educators, and leaders themselves, just like their mentor, Professor Sankur. I'm proud to be one of his students between 1982 and 86. Professor Sankur earned his bachelor's degree from Boğaziçi University in 1970, which was called Robert College at the time. He then got his PhD from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in the US in 1976, and thereafter joined the faculty of Boğaziçi University immediately. Bülent Sankur has about 15,000 citations based on Google Scholar and an H-index of 51. He has over 300 publications. He oversaw 79 MS and PhD theses. With all that, he's definitely one of the top researchers in Turkey. Further, he's a person with vision. In the early 1980s, he foresaw the revolution in computer networking and personal computers coming. If I had really personally listened to him, I listened to him, but if I had listened to him more, I could have been one of the early employees of Cisco. Without further ado, I would like to present Professor Sankur's award, Lifetime Achievement Award, like I said, due to his groundbreaking research in signal processing and related areas. Now I would like to share my screen and show you the plaque. So this is the award plaque. Let me do full screen for a better resolution. Professor Sankur, do you have the plaque itself? Can you just hold it to the camera if you have it? If you don't have it, don't worry about it. Great.
Okay.
Thank you. Now I give the floor to Professor Bülent Sankur for his talk.
Thank you, Fatih, for your kind words. I really feel very proud and very excited about this award. First, I was very surprised to hear about the award when you mentioned about it last February. And I started thinking whether I deserve this award or not. Anyway, but I have a few slides to be shared, so let me try to share it with you. All right, can I make it full screen here?
You see it?
Yeah. Is it okay now? I hope so.
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, yeah. So, well, as you mentioned, I've been a professor for the last 44 years. So I've been in this, let's say, business of electrical engineering for the last, for half a century. But I really enjoyed every bit of it. And to show how much I have enjoyed it, I can show you this image. So this is like an orientalistic image of a Turkish professor as the Westerners were seeing the Orient at the turn of the century, at the end of the 19th century. Anyway, so I was wondering, what did I do in this over these years? So what was my impact or my contribution? Well, I think we started the signal processing conference in the first signal processing conference almost a quarter of a century ago. And when we started, we had only 35 attendants. But now the conference is running at a rate of 1,000 participants. So first, we had only papers from 5 universities. Now we have papers from about close to 80 universities, tens or scores of research companies and government institutions. So I think this was a very seminal conference in establishing and disseminating the signal processing culture, let us say, in Turkey. So I estimate about close maybe 20,000 papers have been written. Recently, I started these summer schools, week-long summer schools on machine learning and signal processing, and well, we have 500 or more attendants. In fact, this year at weekend, we had about 1,600 attendants or participants. And what else did I do? Well, I was always very keen on the exactitude of terms. I've been working on scientific terminology, and presently we have this corpus of technical terms with almost close to encyclopedic explanations in English, French, German, and Turkish, of course, about close to 80,000 terms. Most of them in computer science, electrical engineering. So it's also available on that. And we have also one of my contributions to build up this database, which is has been very popular, let us say, quite seminal in the area of biometry for facial emotion understanding and for hand biometry. So I've been, as you mentioned, I've been at Boğaziçi University most of the time, but I've been also serving Istanbul Technical University, 12 years in Holland at Delft University of Technology, a number of years in Telecom Paris, University of Ottawa. And the most important association for me, of course, was the IEEE. But also I've been still serving the European Signal Processing Community, European Signal Processing Society, as well as the Turkish Academy of Sciences, especially in the area of computer science and electrical engineering areas. Well, of course, I've had some number of graduates, and I'm quite happy to really know that now they are teaching at different universities in Turkey, as well as in some in Europe. Okay, so they are from Izmir, Ankara, Istanbul, in different universities. Really, I'm very, very proud of these wonderful people. Okay? Of course, I've been serving IEEE in various roles, like I've been chapter chair, I've been editorial board member in various journals. Okay? And of course, I've been trying to innovate electrical engineering programs at Boğaziçi University. I don't know whether I should be mentioning about my research, but very briefly, still I'm trying to do some research. At present, I'm looking at so-called brain signal coupling, let us say, as well as this anomaly chain detection in networks. And in the recent past, like last, say, 8 to 10 years, I was working biometry in various European projects, facial emotion understanding, 3D shape databases, retrieval from 3D shape, security issues like data hiding, stag analysis, watermarking, as well as communication network design. In fact, I think one of my important contributions has been this TAFIX project. This is the project with Turkish General Staff, and I was one of the 4 program directors in there. So when we started this program, this was a NATO-sponsored research program. Turkey was in the most disadvantaged position as far as its telecommunication network was concerned. But when we finished the project, really we were in a kind of enviable position. So it was a very, very exciting and also impactful effort, let us say. And of course, I've been in the industry, in Netaş, Arctic, various companies, various projects, as almost every professor must be doing these things, okay? And so I feel I really should be grateful. So grateful, first of all, to my brilliant undergraduate students. Sometimes if I can learn things from them, it's so exciting for me. Also to my wonderful research students, and they both made it all worthwhile, all those years of effort. Of course, I'm very thankful to my colleagues in Turkey, at Boğaziçi, Middle East Technical University, Istanbul Technical University, Bilkent, and other universities, as well as my colleagues during my sabbatical positions, USA, Holland, France, Canada, and of course the IEEE organization, which provided the framework for all these efforts to IEEE Turkey Chapter. Well, by the way, I've been the IEEE member since 1972, almost half a century. I think there's more than the age of some of the people, or most of the people here, right? Anyway, and they told me that, well, since you are a senior researcher, you must have words of wisdom at the end of your talk. But I couldn't really think about the words of wisdom because I myself need words of wisdom myself. Anyway, I came up with a few probably common words of wisdom. I feel like I've been changing the paradigm or changing the focus of research, of even teaching every 6, 7 to 10 years. So I did so 3 or 4 times, and every time it was so a fresh start. It was a very beautiful happening, okay? And over the years, of course, I worked with my colleagues in Turkey, but really the competitive international projects like recent European project, sabbatical visits, bilateral project with NSF, NIH, really I got boost from these international cooperation very much. And although I was really working very hard all the time, sometimes I was quite harsh with my colleagues. After so many years, I now realize that the most important thing in life is respect and kindness to the colleagues and to the students especially, and care for human values. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sankur. Thank you for your great talk. Now I would like to invite Professor Tolga Duman again to introduce and invite Professor Engin Erzin.
Okay, thank you, Fatih Hocam. Well, it's my pleasure to introduce Professor Engin Erzin, who won the Distinguished Service Award this year. Engin Erzin has graduated from Bilkent University with his BS, MS, and PhD in 1995, the latest, and he spent a year at UCSB, University of California, Santa Barbara, as a postdoc, and then a number of years at Lucent Technologies. And in 2001, he has joined Koç University, and he is currently a professor. He has served IEEE in many roles, both in Turkey and and globally, as editor, as technical area member, committee member, and conference organizations, and so forth. And I think he's going to tell us about what his role was, particularly in Turkey, shortly. So I'm not going to talk more about that at this point. With this, I'm going to invite Engin Erzin for his talk. Thanks.
Thank you, Tolga Hocam. And also thank you for this Exemplary Service Award. I'm really honored to receive this award this year. Let me share my screen. I have a very brief presentation, several slides. So I kind of think of actually what I can present to motivate and to explain actually my service to IEEE Turkey Section. And I think about my relationship with IEEE starting from maybe my undergraduate years. And what I can classify, first of all, IEEE was the one of the most single sources of information access for me. So journals, transactions, conferences, they were in the central part, and also standards while I was in the industry. I'm quite an attendant of ICASP, CU, ICME conferences, and many more. For example, Bülent Hocam just mentioned about CU conference, which is a signal processing and telecommunication conference that we initiated in Turkey in '93, and it was a big success. And I think starting from 2004 or so, IEEE started supporting CU conference, and it really collected a network of signal processing researchers in Turkey. And the second thing actually that I think of, it avails a professional development and networking framework for researchers, for engineers in the industry and so on. But for me actually, I was in relationship with chapters, sections, and region level, and also I was in contact with editorial boards, technical societies, committees, and so on, especially in signal processing area. And for this networking and professional development, the third point, volunteering, is really the key aspect that I observed while I was an undergrad, also a grad student at Bilkent. I see it actually how IEEE runs truly. So without volunteers, it won't be possible to run chapters, section, regions, or editorial boards and all the information access or the source of the information access. So along with these maybe points, I just prepare a couple of timelines. Tolga Hoca presented my timeline. I got my PhD at '95, and then I spent a year as a postdoc, work almost 5 years for Lucent Technologies, and since 2001, I'm with Koç University. And my research covers speech signal processing, multimedia signal processing, human-computer interaction, machine learning. But beside my research, maybe my relationship with Turkey Section, IEEE Turkey Section is more important, I think, today. So I created a timeline of my interactions with Turkey Section and also my interactions with IEEE. So I became a student member at 1988 at Bilkent University, and my mentor was Gözde. So Gözde was the basically initiator, founder of the student branch at Bilkent. And a year after, IEEE Turkey Section stated by several colleagues from Bilkent University, Levent Hoca, Abdullah Atalar, I think Özay Hoca was also in that initiation. And I became a member after my PhD in '96, and I became a senior member at 2006. And my relationship with IEEE Turkey Section really started after I returned from US to Istanbul. So in 2004, I started serving as vice chairman for the signal processing chapter. And in 2005 and 6 terms, Gözde invited me to participate in the management committee of the Turkey Section, IEEE Turkey Section. So I served on these terms. And then later on, with Özlem Ayvunçevi, I was the vice chairman, she was the chairman. We served in 2006 and 7 terms. And then eventually, finally, I served as the chairman of the IEEE Turkey Section in 2008 and 9 terms. And beside basically IEEE Turkey Section, I also serve professionally as a volunteer to Signal Processing Society in Signal Processing Education TC, and Signal Speech and Language Processing TC currently. And also I have been associate editor for transactions on audio, speech and language and multimedia. So I think, I mean, these two lines of engagement are both covering my previous lines of interactions with IEEE. Just to maybe give a quick snapshot of IEEE Turkey Section at 2008, since that is when I left it actually. At that time, IEEE Turkey Section has around 1,500 members. Among around 1,000 of them are student members, 500 members. And you see over there number of members in terms of their membership years actually, for 1 year, 2 to 4 years, and so on. As you can observe, we tend to have lots of student members. And what I remember from IEEE Turkey Section management perspective, students were really very active, they were demanding, and we were spending lots of time to interact with them, to organize and to help them organize actually different activities. And besides those major activities that we were dealing with is to support actually different national conferences which are held in Turkey. Those are in numbers of tens, maybe 10s and 20s. And chapters, signal processing chapters, or different chapters actually. We have 15 branches at that time, so they were quite active at those times. I bet actually there is much more activity today, but those are what I remember briefly. So finally, I'd like to thank again to IEEE Turkey Section and the Award Committee, Fatih Hoca, Murat Hoca, Tolga Hoca, for honoring me with this award. And also I'd like to just recall my IEEE Turkey Section colleagues, because without them, I bet, or actually, Bülent Hoca said something at the very beginning of his talk. I am really honored to receive this award, but I think there are many more names which are eligible to receive it. I really very grateful to Özlem, Ibrahim, Başak. We participate many Region 8 meetings with Başak Yüksel, and it was really an enjoying and a very deep experience for me at those years. Birsen Hoca, Vakur, Ece, Cihat, I'd like to acknowledge them also. Okay, thank you, Tolga Hocam.
Thank you, Engin Hocam. I would like to now present you your award plaque. I have to share the screen for that. This is your award plaque, an image of it. If you have the actual award plaque with you, can you point it to the camera?
Right here.
You don't have it with you? You have it right there. Great, it looks real good. We just shipped it out of the people that made it directly to you, so I didn't actually physically held it in my hands.
It is big and heavy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Looks good. Okay, now we're going to the second set of awards, which are Research Encouragement Awards. We have 3 of them. The first one will be presented by Professor Gözde Bozdağ Akar, who is a former IEEE Turkey Section chair, and currently she is also part of the executive committee. So I give the floor to Professor Gözde Bozdağ Akar.
Thanks, Fatih. It is a pleasure for me to be in this award ceremony as a member of the IEEE Turkey Section Board. I have been involved in several IEEE activities and positions through my whole professional life, almost about 30 years, in both student activities, educational activities, and technical activities, both level, in section, in Region 8, and globally. So it is a really pleasure to be a part of this activity. Before I give this prestigious award to Ercüment, I'd like to say a couple of words about him. Ercüment Çiçek earned his BS and MS degrees in computer science and engineering from Sabancı University in 2007 and 2009, respectively. He received his PhD degree in computer science from Case Western Reserve University in 2013. During his PhD, he also visited Cold Spring Harbor Lab to work on gene discovery algorithms for autism spectrum disorder. After graduation, he worked as a Lane Fellow in computational biology at Carnegie Mellon University till 2015. Since then, he has been an assistant professor in the computer engineering department of Bülent University and also an adjunct faculty member in the computational biology department of Carnegie Mellon University. His research interests are bioinformatics, biological networks, machine learning, and it is my great pleasure to present this Research Encouragement Award to Ercüment Çiçek due to his contributions to machine learning methods used for the analysis of genetic diseases.
Gözde Hocam, should we show the plaque before the talk?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, one moment. Let me share the screen. Oops, wrong one. This is the correct one.
Yes, this one. Congratulations, Ercüment.
Congratulations. Ercüment Hocam, do you have the actual plaque with you?
Yes, actually I do. Right over here.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And I also would like to mention that I got my PhD from Case Western Reserve University also. One more congratulations.
So let me share my screen real quick. Right. First of all, let me thank you for this nice award. As an early career scientist, it's really important to get encouragement and appreciation from such a nice organization like IEEE Turkey Chapter. And also thank you for letting me talk about my research and kind of introduce you to bioinformatics and what we do in my lab. I prepared this slide. It should be short, but it's kind of crowded. So I'm here showing you a very oversimplified bioinformatics pipeline. Basically, we start with obtaining raw biological data, such as sequencing data or NMR signal to measure metabolites, which shows the state of the metabolism. And then we start here, and then it goes through a long pipeline. And I try to show with the yellow boxes over here what we do, what our research is about. So first you start with pre-processing this data. Usually there are errors associated with each specific technology. So we work on sequencing error correction algorithms, for instance. And then this data goes into the next stage in which you try to find out variants with respect to some reference data, such as finding mutations. One kind is called copy number variations. We try to learn how to call those variants. Then after this data is generated, you basically collect a large cohort. Some people are healthy and some people have disease. So you have to share this data across sites so that you can perform downstream analysis in a more collaborative way. Also, you would get statistical power. Here we are working on private data sharing protocols so that you also protect the privacy of the individuals and also secure distributed learning at this stage. And the final stage is the genetic disorder risk analysis. So at this stage, we try to find out various biomarkers about disease and try to help the patients at the bedside. And then we have been all doing this with several collaborations. As you see, we are not doing this alone. So I just cherry picked some, hopefully, as time permits, I will talk about some here. So pre-processing, for instance, this is a sequencing machine you see over here. So you put the DNA, if the base is the DNA, we would assume you get the DNA out, but the DNA, the base out as it is, but this is what we get. So this technology has this property that breaks down this one huge sequence of DNA into pieces. There are types of these pieces. One gives you large pieces like on the left-hand side with low error rate, but less ambiguity as it's a big picture. The right one is like a dust, but they are, this is harder to put together, but they are more accurate. So our goal is to, in this line of research, to put the base together by combining the different aspects of these two technology. So this is how it goes along. So if you see over here is the sequence of DNA, which is the long one, the more longer and more erroneous one. You use the green ones to correct it. So you map the small ones onto the blue one and try to correct. So the technology here was quite basic. Per base here, you make a majority voting to correct it and get a single corrected long line. So here we, with the collaborators here, we proposed the first machine learning model. We modeled these long sequences as a profile HMM, and then using the more accurate short pieces, we learned an updated model. And this was published back in the day in Nucleic Acids Research Journal. Some other, so the next step would be variant detection. One specific variant, so let me talk about different technologies here. Again, each come with different problems. So you can sequence the whole genome, which gives you a long sequence of reads, small reads over here you see, or you can sequence some parts of the genome, which is quite related to activity. So you can sequence the genes. So if one important source of variation in our genomes is what's called copy number variation. So some parts are duplicated or some parts are deleted. So if this set of reads is a sequence, just like this, if you have a deletion, you see like a very low signal over here. If you have a duplication, you see a large, larger signal. But the problem is between these two technologies, this one is cheaper, very frequently done, but due to technology problems, you cannot call these variants really easily. So what we had done, for instance, in this job, in this work with Can Alkan and Furkan Özden, we combined the large sequencing data sets and we learned to correct the calls that are done on this erroneous data source using the more accurate and more reliable technologies data. So we matched them and then built a model to learn. So we have achieved, we are able to correct the calls of almost all of the state-of-the-art variant callers out there. So this was second. On data sharing, one of the most important topics is re-identification attacks. So if apples are individuals, you try to find out the red one. One important example is that this person was a killer. He's late in his 70s, 80s. Back in the 70s, he committed many crimes. And then he was found because now we have public genomic sites. So the police uploaded his DNA onto this site and found some cousins, and then he was re-identified. So this is good for the police, but in other case, your DNA might be re-identified. So we have a huge line of works here. So we are working on this protocol which tries to achieve which tries to make this in a privacy preserving way. So I'm just going to go fast. We had 3 works here. We showed that this protocol fails to achieve this, and then there's a privacy leak. Individuals can be re-identified. And then this work is mainly with Erman Ayday, and then we just received an NIH R01 grant on this. Hopefully we will be working on this for the next 4 years. So I'm kind of out of time. Let me briefly show you. So here I'm also working on autism a lot. An unsolved problem, we are trying to discover genes. So we are trying to cluster genes, find new ones that are associated with already new ones. So we have also Simon's Foundation have been supporting us on this line of research. So these are my students. So we have done this with many collaborators, just 4 of them, which we work closely a lot here. And then my students, just a subset of them. So I would like to thank them all. I would like to thank IEEE Turkey Section for this honor, and thank you for your time.
Ercüment Hocam, thank you for your talk. It was a very interesting work, basically. And if I had to start all over again, I think I would focus on computational biology.
Thank you.
Very interesting problems, very relevant problems today. So now I would like to invite Professor Nizamettin Aydın to hand our 2nd Research Encouragement Award. Before I give the floor to Professor Nizamettin Aydın, I would like to ask him to talk a little bit more about himself than the previous hosts talked about themselves. They were too humble, but it would be nice if our audience also get to know IEEE Turkey Section officers.
Thank you, Fatih, for your smooth introduction. Anyway, I am Nizamettin Aydın from Yıldız Technical University. I am head of computer engineering department currently, actually since 2011. I finished the Y2E Electronics and Communication Engineering, MSc again in the same department, and PhD from Leicester University in Medical Physics. It's quite diverse. And since 2005, I am working in computer engineering departments, different fields. Actually, since 1992, I'm a member of IEEE at different levels and different societies, basically in Engineering in Medicine and Biology Society and Signal Processing Society. I was a quite long time associate editor of IEEE Journal of Information Technology in Biomedicine. So I was when I was in, well, basically I worked in London, Edinburgh, as a senior research fellow. When I was in London, I was awarded the IEEE Institute Premium Award in 2001. Actually, that's enough, I think. Now, I will be delighted to actually introduce you, not one, but 2 of the 3 awardees today. Actually, I think the other presenter is not here, as far as I know. Is that correct, Fatih?
Yeah, our 3rd host for Research Encouragement Awards, Professor Ömer Usta, couldn't make it, unfortunately.
Okay.
So if you could substitute for him also, it would be great.
Yeah, I will do, hopefully. The 2nd awardee is Professor Hazım Kemal Ekenel. This award to Hazım Kemal Ekenel is given due to his contributions to image processing computer vision, pattern recognition, and deep learning. Dr. Ekenel is a full professor at the Department of Computer Engineering in Istanbul Technical University, where he directs the Smart Interaction and Machine Intelligence, abbreviated as SIMIT, which I like this, research group. During 2016-2019, he was also with the Signal Processing Lab of École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne as a host professor. He received his BSc and MSc degrees in Electrical and Electronic Engineering from Boğaziçi University in 2001 and 2003 respectively, and PhD degree in Computer Engineering from the University of Karlsruhe. Actually, at that point, I should remind you that I think Professor Ekenel was a student of Professor Sankur. Is that correct, Bülent Hocam? He was MSc student of you.
Yes, that's correct.
Yep. Okay. He has over 15 years of experience in computer vision and machine learning with a focus on face analysis and human perception. He has published more than 100 peer-reviewed publications in prestigious international journals, conferences, and workshops in the related fields, which have received over 3,000 citations. His page index is 30. His research achievements have been recognized by several national and international foundations. He has received Parlar Foundation Research Award and Outstanding Young Scientist Award from the Science Academy Turkey in 2018. He is a recipient of the Young Scientist of the Year Award 2016 from Bilim Kahramanları Derneği. He was awarded with a Young Investigator grant within the framework of the Excellence Initiative of German Research Foundation in 2010, with which he has funded the Facial Image Processing and Analysis Group in Karlsruhe Institute of Technology in Germany. In 2008, he was received the EDF European Biometric Research Award for his contributions to the field of face recognition during his doctoral studies, and with his team, the Best Demo Award at the IEEE International Conference on Automatic Face and Gesture Recognition. Okay, this is actually not very short bio, but in his web page, he has a long bio and very successful academic career. Shall I show the certificate? Let me share
the plaque, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, just a moment. This is.
So I already showed it.
You already showed? Okay.
I already showed it. I can show it one more time.
That's okay. That's fine then. Now I would like to invite Professor Ekenel to make a short speech.
Professor Ekenel, do you have the plaque with yourself? I think it's at the university, right?
Yeah, it's at the university.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Many thanks for the kind introduction. I'm very humbled to receive this award. I would also like to thank for the opportunity to present my research activities. So I'm Hazım from Department of Computer Engineering at Istanbul Technical University. So first of all, I would like to acknowledge my students. So we used to get together once a year at least to have a group photo. This year it's like on the right-hand side, still working hard, but a bit remotely. So I am very grateful to them. I feel very lucky and very privileged to have the opportunity to work with these talented and hardworking people. Same also applies to my supervisors and collaborators. Like Professor Sankur is my master thesis supervisor. He's one of my role models in the academic area. So I feel very privileged to work with all these outstanding people. So we are called Smart Interaction and Machine Intelligence Lab. And what we are mainly doing is computer vision, machine learning, and recently more and more deep learning. And we are mainly focusing on understanding the humans, their identities, behaviors, and so on. And what we try to do is to build, using these technologies, to build interactive and intelligent systems that ease people's lives and enhance their social interactions. At the bottom, you are going to see the videos a bit later of two interactive systems that we built based on computer vision and machine learning so that you can interact with your environment or the machines you have. If you need to, or if you want to analyze perceived humans, the first thing you need to do is you need to localize them in the images, especially if it's a clutter scene, like on the left-hand side, we work a lot on multimedia data. Or nowadays, masks are becoming an integral part of our faces, then the facial appearance has changed. Therefore we also have to update the face detectors. So these are the research challenges that we have been addressing. Once you detect the face, what we try to do is, if it's a video input, we would like to track the face, track the persons in the sequence. Because as in machine learning, we say there is no data, like more data. Using video, we can have more evidence of each people to be able to analyze them better. Also, we can also correct some mistakes because none of our technology works perfectly, not face detection, not face recognition, but what we are trying to do is to perform them as well as possible. We used to work a lot on face recognition. I'm going to show two former videos of our systems. So this was back in 2007, actually. It was published in the ICCV conference at that year. So it was one of the first examples of unattended, uncollaborative face recognition. The other work is again on multimedia data analysis. It is for multimedia retrieval purposes, and it's not a full automatic system in this case. In this scenario, what you do is you're interested in an actor or actress, you click on him or her, and then the system retrieves the scenes. And if you would like to see more scenes from the same actor or actress, what you do is you press the more, and then you provide some feedback to the system, and you enlarge the search. An interactive and fun application of face recognition we have built was a multiplayer first-person shooter game. They say, I think, I don't play this type of games. I never play computer games, actually. So here we built a mobile game. Maybe you might remember the Pokemon Go, I think it was called, where you interact with the outer space. It's a similar idea. It was before Pokemon Go, and the way you interact with the outside world is through computer vision. So it's a paintball or laser tag style game, which means you need to shoot people. And the way you shoot people, or the system understands somebody got shot, is through face recognition. So they open the lobby and so on. And then at the first stage, you need to collect some sample images from each person so that you can build the identity models. And after that, you can play the games. worked for a long time on facial expression analysis, both at the core technology level and on different applications. Here, this video shows the real-time tracking of facial movements. We have all these action units, and what we are trying to do is to interpret these movements. So one sample, again, an interactive fun application of this technology is a game to teach facial expressions. So it was motivated actually at that time to teach facial expressions to kids with autism. So we show an expressive face and we ask the person to interact with it, to imitate it, and then we automatically generate a score. Like 10 years ago, we used to work on real-time face swapping in video recordings. So we call this as a magic mirror. So you look at the screen, you pick one actor or a celebrity from the list, and then afterwards you look like him or her. And recently we work more on expression transfer, face animation, more like 2D to 3D approximation and transfer of the facial movements. I would also like to briefly present a sample set of projects we have done in collaboration with EPFL LTS5. The first project is building a cleanliness index. So what we do is we mount cameras on the street sweepers, and then we detect and classify the garbages on streets. In this way, we can generate a cleanliness map of a city. We also worked on multimodal pedestrian detection using LiDAR and camera input. We have some health-oriented applications like segmenting the skin lesions. Also, we performed some research on deep breathing. And I would like to conclude my talk with one of our recent works. We call it as words as art materials. You can also try it if you like. The website is painterai.com for the demo. So what we do is having some keywords as input, and then we have a sequence of guns, and then we generate, given these keywords, we generate some artistic images. So this is a very brief overview, a sub-sample of what we are doing at Istanbul Technical University and CIMET Lab. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your talk, Professor Ekenel. Yes, the floor is yours, Nizamettin Hocam.
Okay, thank you for this brief introduction to your research. Now the third encouragement award recipient is Dr. Sedat Nizamoğlu. He is Associate Professor Sedat Nizamoğlu was awarded a Research Encouragement Award due to his nano and biomaterial-based photonic devices used for biotechnology, environmental, and energy applications research. Sedat Nizamoğlu received his BSc degree in Electrical and Electronics Engineering in 2005, MSc degree in Physics as a valedictorian in 2007, and his PhD in Electrical and Electronics Engineering in 2011 at Bülent University. Immediately after graduation, he continued as a research fellow with a joint affiliation with Harvard Medical School and Wellman Center for Photomedicine, Massachusetts General Hospital in USA. Before joining Koç University, he was a faculty member at Erzin University. His research focuses on the demonstration of innovative bioelectronic and optoelectronic devices and interfaces for the applications to energy, medicine, and environment. He has published more than 70 research papers in prestigious journals, including Nature Communications, Nature Photonics, Advanced Materials, and Nano Letters. He was recognized by MIT Technology Review as Innovator Under 35, Turkey. He received Encouragement Award by TÜBİTAK, Outstanding Young Scientist Award by Turkish Academy of Sciences and Science Academy. In addition, he was awarded an ERC starting grant. Dr. Nizamoğlu has actually many more research activities. I believe he will share some of these activities with us in his talk in a minute. I would like to invite him to the stage to give his talk.
Sedat Hocam, can you show us the plaque pointed to the camera if possible?
Sure, Fatih Hocam. Can you see me right now?
Yes, we can see you.
Yes, yes.
Okay, then let me do it like
if you okay, lift it. It will be better. Yeah.
I would like to thank the evaluation committee members, by the way, and thank you very much for the organization and very nice award, very nice plaque. Thank you so much. And at the same time, I would like to thank to my supervisors at Bilkent, Hilmi Volkan Demir and NDU at Harvard Medical School. So I would like to thank to my dedicated lab team members, Idea Lab, and also my lovely family. With your permission, I would like to start right now some little bit scientific part, what we are doing. I would like to inform you. Let me share initially the screen with you. I hope you can see it. Okay, let me start. I am an associate professor right now at Koç University in electrical and electronics engineering. And my lab is called Idea Lab, which is innovative devices and interfaces laboratory. And we are working on optoelectronic devices mainly and bioelectronic devices. We are, for example, working and demonstrating ultra-efficient quantum dot-based LEDs, green luminescent solar concentrators for sunlight harvesting. Moreover, we are working on biomedical area as well. I will show you some examples of them today. Bio-integrated lasers and waveguides to deliver light into the body, deep inside to the body. And we are also developing optoelectronic neural interfaces as artificial retina against blindness. And we are developing some new tools for non-genetic optogenetics to control the neural activity at single cell level. And another topic that we are working is on novel colloidal nanocrystals, on nanotechnology as well. Okay, if we go to a hospital, I hope we will not go to a hospital for any reason, but if we have an incision on our skin, then we generally have suture, and this is what we end up at the end. 4 years ago, we developed a new technology, a light-based technology. Let's say we have an incision, then we apply a dye there, and then we basically put some optical fibers inside to this incision. And by eliminating the light there, the dye cross-link here, and then the tissue is closed. And as you can see here, it is a more, in fact, aesthetically a better way of and this paper is also selected by Nature Communication by the editor as well as image of the week. And other than this, we are working on nervous system. Nervous system connects us to the life via 5 main senses: memory, thinking, and consciousness. And unfortunately, it is the #1 cause of disability-adjusted life years and #2 cause of deaths after heart diseases. And we know that there are many nervous system disorders, unfortunately: paralysis, Parkinson, Alzheimer, epilepsy. And in my lab, we are working on retinal degenerations, diseases which lead to severe vision loss and even total blindness. And it affects right now more than 100 million people, and it increases due to the aging population. And therefore, it is one of the main areas in eye-related diseases. And I will give you a brief overview. What is this disease? You see here right now the retina. And what happens is, like in a camera, the photo detectors in a camera is not working. In retina also, these photoreceptors right now not work very well. Therefore, it cannot absorb the light and generate the vision. So that instead of these natural photoreceptors, we are developing some artificial photoreceptors to regain the vision. And for that one, we are developing nano-engineered optoelectronic biointerfaces. And here you see an exemplary device, the cross-section of an exemplary device. The advantage of these devices, it is a solution process and a cheap device. And these devices, you can basically consider it is a solar cell so that it absorbs the light and generates some ionic currents in the cell medium. And another good thing is it's a wireless so that it can generate stimulation just by incoming light to the surface. And in terms of scientific perspective, we can engineer from molecular level to assembly to device level so that we have a huge freedom there. I would like to thank for these projects for the support by the European Research Council. And so far in the last 2 years, we demonstrated nanophotonics, integrated nanophotonics to neural interfaces. We demonstrated non-radiative energy transfer-based neural interfaces and plasmonic-based ones. Also recently, we combined supercapacitor technology with photovoltaics for novel forms of neural interfaces. And this year also, we demonstrated the most efficient organic optoelectronic nano interface. And also in collaboration with School of Medicine, with Afsun Hoca, Murat Hoca, and Halil Hoca from engineering, from the biological engineering department. We right now implanted these devices into the retina of the mice. We are right now trying to understand their in vivo results as well. And moreover, we are working on colloidal quantum dots on nanotechnology. So as you see here, these are very small particles. And but if you increase the size, for example, their emission can vary from green to red region due to the quantum confinement effect. And here, these are the materials that you see here are all synthesized materials. And recently, we introduced a new nanomaterial of aluminum antimony, for example. And we integrate green and red emitting quantum dots to blue LEDs to achieve ultra efficient LEDs. And for that one, for example, as a novelty, what we did was, so far the quantum dots were incorporated as in solid state, but we injected in liquid state for efficient light generation. And as you can see here, right now we can go to the high above 100 lumen per watt, which are the most efficient white LEDs in the literature. And also this takes significant worldwide attention by Optical Society of America, Science Daily, Physics Org, Business Wires, and with a very high altmetric score. And I would like to share with you how we can, in fact, produce this kind of LEDs. Initially, we synthesized these nanomaterials at Koç University in our labs by hot injection method. As you can see here, the color change, they are synthesized so that under, for example, UV light, you see that we have green and red emitting quantum dots. Then we prepare our own lenses to cover the liquid of these quantum dots. We put into the mold a polymer, and to the oven we will put to cure it. Right now we will cure it, and after we cure it, we take it off, and then we place the lens to the blue LED, so that in combination with these blue LED chip and green and red emitting quantum dots, we will right now generate white light. And as you can see, we inject this liquid onto these LEDs, blue LED, and this is right now the LED, how it functions. And recently also, by using biological tools, we recently integrated fluorescent proteins to the LEDs. We collaborated with Elif Nur Fırat Karalar, so that by genetic modification of the bacteria, they synthesized for us green and red emitting proteins, and we also incorporated them to blue LED to show the most efficient non-toxic white LED. And we are also working on energy harvesting devices, so that right now our windows are just we are using their transparency to look at outside, but in the future we plan to use them for energy, solar energy harvesting as well, so that we will incorporate quantum dots into it, and we will place solar panels to the edges of it. And after the sunlight is absorbed by these particles, they will generate luminescence, and then with reflections, they will the light will be absorbed by the solar energy, solar cells, to absorb a large area solar radiation and turn into electricity. And this is our recent luminescent solar concentrators, larger than 1 meter. As you can see here, this is the tower at Koç University. And for that one, we already can also synthesize grams of these nanoparticles. And finally, we are also working on self-assembled lasers for biological integrations. These discs, spheres are self-assembled by controlling the coffee stain effect. And also recently we started to work on random lasers. I would like to thank all of our team members who are the heroes to do all these projects. And I'd like to also thank to our funding agencies, ERC, TÜBA, TÜBİTAK, and also our host institute, Koç University. I would like to thank you again for this prestigious award.
Thank you, Sedat Hocam. Your work is like science fiction. I was going to call it interesting, but it's beyond interesting.
Thank you very much, Fatih Hocam.
Thank you. So I would like to move on to the third part of our awards, third group of awards, which are the PhD dissertation awards. I would like to invite Dr. Burhan Bayram to introduce and invite the first awardee in this group. By the way, Assistant Professor Burhan Bayram, he is our Section Vitality Officer, Section Vitality Chair. And I think I forgot to mention, Professor Nizamettin Aydın is our technical sponsored events coordinator. So if you want to organize a conference in Turkey and if you want to get IEEE technical sponsorship, you fill out an application form and it goes to Professor Nizamettin Aydın. So please be kind to him.
Thank you, Fatih Hocam. So this is Mehmet Burhan Bayram. I'm a faculty member of Acıbadem University, Istanbul, in the Department of Medical Engineering. And as Dr. Uğurdağ mentioned, as of August 2020, I've appointed as the Section Vitality Coordinator. So the first recipient of the 2019 Doctoral Thesis Award, a short bio. Dr. Musa Furkan Keskin is a Marie Curie Fellow in the Department of Electrical Engineering at Chalmers University of Technology, Gothenburg, Sweden. He obtained his BS, MS, and PhD degrees from the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Bülent University, Ankara, PhD being in 2018. His current research interests include intelligent transportation systems, joint radar communications, and 5G positioning. So now I would like to present, or Dr. Uğurdağ would like to present the plaque for the 2019 Doctoral Thesis Award to Dr. Keskin for his dissertation titled Visible Light Positioning Systems, Fundamental Limits, Algorithms, and Resource Allocation Approaches. Dr. Keskin, congratulations again. Now the screen is yours for your 3-minute thesis presentation. Thanks.
Thank you so much for the awards.
Dr. Keskin?
Yes.
You said you don't have the plaque with you, right? You received it,
no.
but...
Yes, it was received.
It went to a friend, but you didn't get it yet.
Yeah, at my home address in Turkey.
You're in Switzerland right now, right?
I'm in Sweden, yes.
Sweden. I'm sorry, Sweden. Okay.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
So, thanks. I would like to thank you for this award, and I'm very honored to receive this award. Thank you. I would like to thank the committee for this. So my thesis is about visible light positioning systems with a focus on fundamental limits, algorithms, and resource allocation approaches. With the advent of low-cost and energy-efficient LED-based visible light systems, visible light communication systems have gathered a significant amount of research interest in the last decades. Utilizing the vast unlicensed visible light spectrum, VLC has the potential to surmount the issue of spectrum scarcity that we encountered in RF-based wireless systems. In indoor scenarios, VLC systems can employ the available lighting infrastructure to provide various capabilities simultaneously, like illumination, high-speed data transmission, and localization. So the LEDs can be modulated at high frequencies to accomplish high data rate transmission. On the other hand, the process of localization via visible light systems can be realized by visible light positioning systems where we have VLC receivers equipped with photodetectors that can perform position estimation by using signals emitted by LED transmitters at known locations. Since line of sight links generally exist between LED transmitters and VLC receivers, and multipath effects are not very significant in VLP systems, it can provide precise location estimation in indoor environments. And among various applications of VLP systems, robot navigation, asset tracking, and location-aware services can be considered as the most prominent ones. And VLC systems can also be used in vehicular scenarios. So it can be used to perform cooperative localization in vehicular VLC systems. For example, photodetectors can be placed in various sides of the vehicles to enable inter-vehicle cooperation. Also, it's possible to exploit the vehicle-to-infrastructure communications between the traffic infrastructures and the vehicles to enable inter-vehicle cooperation. And these cooperative vehicular localization systems can be especially useful in harsh scenarios where the global positioning system signals are severely degraded, like in urban areas or tunnels. And as a key enabler for low cost and high accuracy wireless localization services, the VLP technology will constitute a vital ingredient of next generation location aware applications. So in this dissertation, we have considered the problem of localization in visible light systems, and we have provided fundamental performance limits, statistical estimators, and we devise localization algorithms, and also we investigate optimal resource allocation approaches. So I'd like to thank you again for this award, and I would also like to thank you for listening. Thanks.
Dr. Keskin, thank you for your nice presentation.
Thanks.
I would like to now invite another host, Dr. Serhan Yarkan from Ticaret University. He's our Educational Activities and Professional Development Officer in IEEE Turkey. Professor Yarkan, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Fatih Hocam. I'd like to introduce the recipient of dissertation award, Miss Dr. Hamideh Ramazani. I hope I pronounced correctly. And I think, you know, the plaque is right now shown on the screen. Miss Ramazani's dissertation entitled, which received the award, is Communication Theoretical Foundations of Nervous System. Let me just briefly introduce her short bio. I don't know whether she's with us or right now, I don't know, because, you know, at the beginning of the presentation, I think, you know, she appeared, but I don't know whether she's with us right now. Miss Ramazani received her BS degree in electrical engineering, then the major of communication from University of Tehran in 2011. MS degree in, again, EE, but this time major is communication systems from Sharif University of Technology in Iran in 2013. She right now holds a PhD degree in EE from Koç University, and I think, you know, she is graduated in 2018 according to my records. Right now she is a research student in the Department of Engineering, University of Cambridge, UK. Current research interests of her include the fabrication of graphene-based devices, biosensing, nanoscale, neuronal and molecular communications, and Internet of Everything. As I said, I saw her name appear, but I think, you know, right now she's not with us, so she's not going to present her work, but I think Dr. Burhan Hoca will play a pre-recorded video, if I'm not mistaken. So how can we proceed?
Yes, I will.
You share your screen?
Yes, I will share it now and like play the pre-recorded video.
I'm Hamideh Ramazani. I've done my PhD studies in electrical and electronics engineering at Koç University under supervision of Professor Akar. The topic of my presentation is Communication Theoretical Foundations of Nervous System. Nanotechnology is one of the frontiers of the scientific research in the current age. It has a huge set of applications that are being realized in a variety of environments. Although nanotechnology promises a big revolution in the future, the implementation challenges are also huge. Nanoscale machines, which are called nanomachines, have simple architectures. They consist of a small number of molecules aligned with power and size limitations. Thus, nanomachines have scarce processing, memory, and networking capabilities. These limitations can be overcome if nanomachines connect together and collaborate in performing different tasks. So, dense deployment of nanomachines in networked environments leading to formation of nanonetworks is required to achieve promises of nanotechnology. Different communication paradigms are suggested for the physical realization of nanonetworks. Among them, the most promising one is molecular communication. In molecular communication, signal transmission is done by release and detection of molecules. Molecular communication already exists in nature among nanoscale cells. It has evolved over billions of years and is working efficiently. You can find these systems all around and within us. For instance, consider nervous system. Nerve cells or neurons use molecular communication to send the control signals of the brain to muscles and return the sensory signals to the brain. Understanding this molecular signaling among neurons from information and communication technology provides two significant outcomes. The first one is it leads to developing bio-inspired nanotechnology solutions. That means this problem of nanotechnology will be solved. But the second outcome, which is also a significant one, is that it enables ICT-inspired diagnostic and treatment techniques for neurodegenerative diseases. Thus, in this thesis, I focus on molecular communication among neurons to establish and introduce the fundamentals of molecular information and communication science. I first performed the information and communication theoretical modeling and analysis of different processes involved in neuronal communication. Then I focus on deriving a closed-form equation for the achievable rate of neuronal communication. And at the end, I highlight the significance of molecular information science in life science by introducing the potential information and communication theoretical diagnostic and treatment techniques for diseases caused by malfunction of nervous system. These include spinal cord injuries, Alzheimer, and Parkinson's disease.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So that was a quick one since it was pre-recorded. We can move on to the next award, next host and next awardee. The next awardee is Assistant Professor Semiha Tedik Başaran at Istanbul Technical University, and our host is Professor Murat Tümer. Professor Murat Tümer is our Student Activities Coordinator within IEEE Turkey. That's possibly the most tiring officer position. Murat Hocam, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Fatih Hocam. Now I'm sharing my screen. I prepared the presentation, excuse me. Why it doesn't work. Okay. I'm Murat Tümer. I am currently working at the Electrical and Electronics Engineering Department of the Turkish German University. Here we have a nice aerial picture of our beautiful new campus. Since August 2020, I'm also the Student Activities Coordinator of IEEE Turkey Section. Now that's enough about myself. Now it's my pleasure to announce our next awardee, Dr. Semiha Tedik Başaran. Here, okay. Semiha Tedik Başaran received her bachelor, master's, and PhD degrees in electronics and communication engineering from Istanbul Technical University in 2011, 2013, and 2019, respectively. She worked as a visiting researcher at the Institute for Communication Technologies and Embedded Systems at Aachen University in Germany in 2017. She investigated the safety analysis in multi-agent systems. She worked as an experienced researcher at Ericsson Research Turkey from 2019 to 2020. She is currently an assistant professor with the Department of Electronics and Communications Engineering at Istanbul Technical University. Her primary research interests focus on beyond 5G communication, mobility management, random network coding, and physical layer security. We congratulate her for this success, and now I'm presenting her plaque. I think she received the physical one as well, and she can show it to us. Now I'm inviting her to give her talk.
Thank you for the nice presentation, and I'd like to thank to award committee for this nice award. I think, no, yes, I think it's enough. Thank you again. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank my supervisor, Professor Güneş Karabulut-Kurt, for her permanent support and scientific guidance throughout my journey. The title of my thesis is Relaying Opportunities for Wireless Networks by Applying Network Coding. We expect that almost every device which is utilized in our homes, corporates, and transportation services will be connected to each other in the near future. In order to realize these scenarios, there are quite strict performance indicators in terms of throughput and latency. Today we have simple application scenarios, but there will be a great amount of connected devices and different services such as mission critical communications and massive IoT. So we need the integration of different services and various devices with different requirements, leading to more compact implementations. To operate such a huge and diverse network structures, more efficient transmission techniques, which are not implemented in today's networks, are required. In order to provide high throughput and low latency requirements, which are expected from next generation wireless communication systems, we need to revisit the conventional networks. To do so, various relaying approaches can be considered as a solution. Here, the bottleneck problem is an important issue that needs to be eliminated. And here, network coding, which is based on transmitting mixed data packets, can handle this problem. And this is the main topic of this thesis. We design and characterize various link opportunities, considering the efficient usage of network resources, such as power and bandwidth. Especially the efficient utilization of network resources becomes critical at intermediate nodes. And in this dissertation, we introduce an overall relaying approach, which is a candidate technique to be utilized in next generation wireless networks. And here we try to maximize served users as well as reducing the total power consumption. In addition to the proposed efficient network coding schemes, we also present a comprehensive tool to demonstrate fundamental performance bounds of wireless networks, thanks to the Max-Flow-Mean-Cut theorem. Hence, the presented tool can be utilized to specify performance limitations under different real implementation scenarios. Accordingly, this dissertation provides significant contributions from not only application perspective, but also asymptotic performance limitations. That's all from my side.
Dr. Başaran, thank you for your talk. Now I would like to invite our next host, actually the last host, Professor Bülent Bilir of İzmir Economy University. He's our Public Relations Officer in IEEE Turkey. Bülent Hocam, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Fatih. Hello to everybody. I am very honored to participate in such a nice ceremony, and it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Hasan Uluşan as a recipient of the Dissertation Award. And this award is given to him for his work on the subject that is titled as Ultra Low Power Interface Electronics Design for Fully Implantable Cochlear Implants. And Dr. Uluşan received his Bachelor of Science, Master of Science, and doctoral degrees in Electrical and Electronics Engineering from Middle East Technical University, Ankara, Turkey, in 2011, 2013, and 2018, respectively. He's currently a postdoctoral researcher with Bioengineering Laboratory, Biosystems Science Engineering Department, ETH Zurich. His current studies are mainly on the design and development of an in vitro platform for characterizing iPSC-derived electrogenic cells. His research interests include the integrated circuit design, especially for low power applications, biosensor interfaces, power management circuits for energy harvesting systems, and mixed signal circuits, and systems for wearable and implantable medical devices. And now I would like to invite him, Dr. Uluşan, to the stage. And in the meantime, Fatih, can you show the award? Yeah, it's in there. It's okay. So I invite Dr. Uluşan.
Thank you, Professor Bilir. Yeah, I don't receive. I mean, my family has received the award, but I.
You are in Switzerland, right?
Yes,
now I got it right.
Yeah.
So somebody received it for you in Turkey, the plaque, but you don't have it in your own possession in Switzerland.
Exactly. My family has received it, but I couldn't get it yet since I'm in Switzerland now.
You're the one from Cyprus?
Yeah, I'm from Cyprus, exactly.
Okay. Thank you. Please go.
So I can share my screen quickly. So as the first, thank you very much. It's an honor to receive this award. Today I'm going to present you my PhD thesis mainly, which is about the low power electronics design for fully implantable cochlear implants. So like, let me ask first, like, have you ever think about how it would be if you couldn't hear any sound, or can you realize how would be your life if you were a deaf child? So it will be like quite bad, like it's without the sound, it will be like you are living at this space. Deafness is not only causing physical inability, but might also cause some physical psychological problems. So cochlear implants are one of the most successful neural prostheses which resolves the deafness problem for the people. The cochlear implants detect the sound through a microphone from that placed at the outside, and then it has been processed and sent inside into the inner part, which is under the skin. The inner part then decoded the data and stimulate the auditory neurons. Although recent studies on cochlear implants has shown significant progresses, these devices still have some certain drawbacks. As the first, the cochlear implants, they cause daily battery replacement. Secondly, the aesthetic concern is especially problematic for young people. And finally, the cochlear implants has damage risk due to the outer part, which can be damaged at the shower or during the sport. So fully implantable cochlear implant system, which is proposed in the Flamenco project, has resolved this problem by combining a piezoelectric sensor with an ultra low powered interface electronics. My main subject, my main PhD thesis is mainly focused on this novel interface electronics that detects the sensor output and stimulates the auditory neurons. This interface electronic, as the first, is designed to be low powered so that it has a long battery lifetime. Secondly, it has a low volume that can even fit inside the middle ear. And finally, it has been designed on a standard CMOS process that you can make it with low cost and replace the regular cochlear implants easily. The implemented interface electronic is combined with the piezoelectric sensors and tested on in vivo condition on a guinea pig. This system is one of the first proposed fully implantable cochlear implant system that is tested in vivo with a wide input sound range and has the lowest power dissipation in the literature. The power dissipation of the system is about 2 orders of magnitude lower than commercial cochlear implants, which enabling more than 30 years of battery lifetime for this device. To sum up, a fully implantable cochlear implant system is designed and developed in my PhD thesis, and the in vivo test of the system on a guinea pig has shown that the possibility of the system as a next generation neural prosthesis. So I want to thank you for listening, and it's once more I want to say that it's an honor to receive this award from the committee.
Dr. Uluşan, thank you for your talk. There is actually one more PhD dissertation award, an awardee. Unfortunately, he was unable to attend and he was unable to send us a pre-recorded video, but I would still like to mention his name and show you his plaque. Let me share my screen. So the last PhD dissertation award goes to Dr. Farshad Miramir Kani, and let me tell a few things about him. One moment. So he received the PhD dissertation award because of his PhD thesis titled Channel Modeling and Characterization for Visible Light Communications, Indoor, Vehicular, and Underwater Channels. Farshad did this PhD thesis at Özyeğin University in Istanbul in the EE department. He finished it in 2018. And after that, he started working at Işık University, again in Istanbul, as an assistant professor. So this concludes all our awards. We will shortly conclude our meeting. But before we conclude our meeting, I would like to hand the floor over to Professor Tolga Duman again. He would like to talk about 2020 awards. And after that, I will hand the floor over to our Vice Chair, Professor Tunçer Baykaş, for some concluding remarks.
Thank you very much, Fatih Hocam. I have a very short message that basically this year we are running this program again. This is going to be in its 4th year, and you can find information on IEEE Turkey website. This is actually, I'm sharing this information from the website itself. And as you know, for the Encouragement Award and also Doctoral Dissertation Award, we take nominations or applications, and the links are provided on this link, on this page. So you have 12 days to let your colleagues, former students, and so forth know about this opportunity, and it'll be great if you can publicize. Thank you.
Thanks, Tolga Hocam. So now I would like to invite Professor Tunçer Baykaş who will make the final concluding remarks. Then after that, please don't sign off. We will take a group photo, a family photo, and we will end the meeting. Tunçer Hocam, go ahead.
Thank you very much again. So as you know, the 6th of October is the IEEE Day, and as IEEE Turkey Section, we are celebrating IEEE Day with 2 events. First one is on the 4th of October at 9 p.m. It's a panel from the IEEE Turkey young professionals and women in engineering. They are going to discuss future directions of the YP and WIE in the post-COVID-19 era. Global YP chair and IEEE WIE YP representative will join us. Our second event will take us back to the establishment times of the IEEE Turkey section. On the 6th of October at 8:30, Professors Levent Onural, Ayhan Altınbaş, and Akar will talk about the first days of IEEE Turkey. And both of these events actually will be in YouTube in this live channel as well. So we are inviting all of you there. Thank you very much. So Simay, Akar, it's for you to take the pictures for the...
Yes, but before that, Kathy wants to say a few things.
Yes,
Kathy, please go ahead.
I just wanted to say that this was an amazing awards ceremony, and you did an amazing job. And I wanted to congratulate again all the winners, and thank you for allowing me to participate. That's all. Thanks.
Kathy, thank you for being here. It was our honor. Karen, thank you for being here. Thanks to all the awardees and all the hosts. So let's take the picture now before we leave the meeting.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'm taking the group picture together. We are all on the screen right now.
Simay, are you counting?
1 second. Just counting. 1, 2, 3. IEEE.
IEEE.
Yes. Thank you so
One
much,
more,
everyone.
that's it.
One more, yeah. One more. Better to have one more. IEEE.
IEEE.
That's perfect. Thank
Cheers,
you,
everybody. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. See you soon.
Thank you very much.
Simay, you're the host. You end the meeting, please.
Very much.
Yes, we're ending the live stream right now. Thank you, everyone. And see you tomorrow and also October 6th on IEEE Day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.